something that we do every single day is taking screenshots. And today I'm going to talk about exactly that, how to take screenshots on Linux, the tools for taking screenshots on Linux, and I also want to talk about Wayland screenshotting. So I know that a lot of my viewers are Wayland users, so I'm going to talk about that as well. So how do I take screenshots? Well, my screenshot script, so I have a script for taking screenshots. It has 3 options, and each option will basically copy the image to my clipboard, open the image in my image editor, and send a nice little notification. So I'll show you right now. The first option is full screen image, so it takes a screenshot of my entire desktop. Look at that, it took a screenshot of my entire desktop, and it sends a nice little notification as well, and it opens it up in my image viewer. And it also copies to my clipboard. You obviously can see that, but it is copied to my clipboard, trust me. I can take a screenshot of a region. So let's say I want the part of this tree and this mountain here. There we go, there's the screenshot of that region. Looks very beautiful, and it also does all of those things. And I can also say take a screenshot of a window. I'm gonna open up my terminal, and I'm gonna say take the screenshot of this terminal, and it does exactly that. It takes a screenshot of the terminal. It also captures everything below the terminal. So because my SD is transparent, it shows like my wallpaper below it because it's transparent, and my screenshot script captures that perfectly. So the script is using a tool called main under the hood, and it literally stands for make image, and it takes screenshots of your desktop. It's a very simple application. If you actually view the man page for main, you can read all about it. But the basic usage is that we can say pic.jpg, so you can give it an output path as the first argument, and that just takes a screenshot of your entire screen. Look at that, it took a screenshot of your whole screen right here. Very nice. Now if you actually explore the options, the very last option here, -s, is for select, and this requires onSlop, which is actually a dependency for main that allows you to either select a region, so you can draw on the screen some sort of region, or a window. You can just select a window and take a screenshot of that. So let's run main-s, override that image file, and I will just say this region, right? So there we go. Now we have this region right here, and it's just this region screenshotted. Very nice. And I can also select a window. So I'm going to select my SD terminal. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. However, you'll notice that while it did take a screenshot of my window, it left out the transparency. So it just took a screenshot of SD and left. It doesn't actually take anything below the screenshot. So in this case, the SD's transparency as well as the wallpaper, it doesn't take a screenshot of that. However, if you want that, you can just add the capital B flag. So capital B is for capture background, and you can read about it. Main will ignore anything below the specified window, and if you give it this flag, it overrides this and also captures elements underneath the window. So now if I were to do main-s capital B, and I were to select my SD terminal again, go ahead and open that up. Look at that, now I've got my beautiful looking wallpaper opened up as well. So that is the basic usage of main. It has some other options like the format, so you can say PNG, JPEG, BMP, and WebP. These are the supported options. So you should be using that. Actually, I forgot to use that, but -f PNG should take a PNG image to a JPEG image, which is kind of funny if you think about it. But there we go, this is a PNG image, not a JPEG image. So you can see pic.jpg PNG image data. That's funny, but that is how you use main. And if you look at the other options, it's got a format, the window, so you can specify a window. Root is going to be the full screen, right? So your entire desktop is root. And you can also say, like, I don't know, you can get like the window ID of the focused window using XDO tool and like take a screenshot. You can do really complex things with it. With it is what I'm trying to get to. You can also specify geometry. So instead of doing -s, you can set a geometry by yourself, and it has this weird syntax. You can It sets the region to capture uses local coordinates. So this is some complicated stuff with the geometry, though I think most people would just want to use the -s option and -w-parent. I think this is actually the window option, so I don't know what -i is about. But we have again the -B option, which we just talked about. -d delays the image, and it also sends a really nice message. So if I were to say 0.7 seconds of delay, -t, oh, we were to say this at the end right here, and we're going to select this, and it's going to send that nice little emoji here and this nice little snapshotting in message. So now if I were to, why did I try to open that with Vim, by the way? We have our image here, I guess our JPEG file extension PNG image. So that is it for me. Now for Wayland, how do you do this on Wayland? Well, I guess you should use Grim. So Grim is the minimal option that I found, but you also have Hypershot, which is a script that sort of, I guess, wraps around Grim. I keep pronouncing Grim as GIMP for some reason, but this is a bash script that says, hey, it has all of these options, so it's basically MAME but for Wayland Hypershot. Even though it has the word hyper in it, it can work on other window managers, I think, other than Hyperland. It's a really simple script, or I guess it's really advanced. Wow, just using like one small little program called Grim and like turning it into this huge thing. It doesn't make sense to me, but there's your Wayland program. So this is like on the more bloated side. Grim is the bare bones thing, and you use it with Slurp if you want selections. So Grim doesn't come with selections by default. Flameshot, I also want to give an honorable mention to this. This is for Wayland only, or sorry, I meant for Xorg only, but I heard that it does work on Wayland as well, so that's nice. But it's this bloated software with like the large language model type website, but it has all of these features. I'll actually show it to you. Look at that, I can select a screenshot and draw something. Let's do the iconic drawing. Alright, we can draw a line, we can draw an arrow, we can do some shapes, a whole bunch of shapes here, including this circle. We can type in some text. I think it uses the default sans serif font. We can blur stuff, so that's also really nice. So it has got all of these features. It also ruins your terminal's cursor, but Flameshot, other than that, it's a really nice tool. So it is bloated, it ruins your terminal's cursor, but it has a lot of features. So that's the good thing about Flameshot. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and bye bye.